That, of course, was Tchaikovsky's Piano Concerto Number 1 in D minor, and the pianist there was Martha uh, Argerich. One of the things in this book that was pointed out that I showed on a previous video was that Tchaikovsky's mother had died, and Tchaikovsky was in St. Petersburg in a conservatory, a music conservatory. And the leader of that conservatory, founder of the conservatory, let me look at my notes here, was a gentleman by the name of Anton Rubinstein. He founded the conservatory. He was a classical pianist also. His brother, Nikolai Rubinstein, elder brother, founded the Moscow Conservatory. So Tchaikovsky's at the conservatory in St. Petersburg. And for the final exam, he has to take Beethoven's Ode to Joy Symphony, the Symphony Number 9, which is very popular. A lot of people have heard it. And where it has that famous chorus at the very end of the symphony. He has to do that, take that, and write it in a different key. And that's what a lot of people have to do now when they want to be a composer or be a conductor, or they're in music theory or music class, to take one piece, classical music, and change it to a different key, write it in a different key. So Mozart, Tchaikovsky, not Mozart. Tchaikovsky goes from the St. Petersburg Music Conservatory to the Moscow Music Conservatory. And there he meets Nikolai Rubinstein. He also meets 5 other gentlemen who are opposed to what Nikolai Rubinstein is doing. And those 5 men are Mussorgsky, who wrote the Night on Bald Mountain, Rimsky-Korsakov, Glinka, Borodin, and there's one more that I couldn't find in here, but they were called the 5. And those 5 were opposed to the new music, modern music, in other words, that is going on. And so this is where I have a dilemma, because this is brought up, and like I said earlier in my earlier video, that there are some gems in here, but that just like that. And so you had this sort of struggle going on between those 5 and Nikolai Rubinstein. And there was a passage in this book, and let me see if I can find it. I probably bookmarked it, because the 5, as I said, wanted to go with the classical music, and Nikolai did not. He wanted to go modern music. So what's the difference between modern music and classical music in 1860? And I couldn't figure that out until I saw a video on YouTube called, what's the name of that? Keeping the Score, I think it is, where this gentleman talks about classical music. And so he was talking about the concerto, which I just played for you. And he was talking about the concerto, and he brought up the difference between a Bach and a Handel concerto. Let me see if I can get this out for you, make it easier for you to understand. Excuse me for the let's see if I can bring this up real quick, because in the Bach pieces and Handel pieces, There's what you call a, well, I'll just tell you about it. There's what you call in the sonata form. What you do, they start out with the ritornello. A ritornello is Latin for little return. So you have a ritornello, you have the solo, then you have another ritornello, then you have a solo passages, then you have another ritornello, then you have a solo climax, and then you finally have a final ritornello. That's what it means when they were saying that was classical. That was the classical concerto. Mozart and Beethoven came along and said, no, 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 we're not going to do all that nonsense. We're going to do something different. We're going to do something a lot different. Okay, this is the Brandenburg Concerto by Bach. And the solo can be either voice or it can be music, just solo instrument. It just doesn't have to be just solo art, voice singing. See, that's going to be repeated several times. This first passage. Excuse me. So that's going to be repeated several times. Like I said, that's a ritornello. And then, so Bach goes on with the what they call the modern type of uh, music. And the modern type of music is that which was what Bach and Mozart were playing. And the modern type of music is that you have a dramatic first movement, and then you have a slow middle movement, and then you have a faster finale, and that's it. There's no return. There's no ritornellos involved in there, in the whole entire symphony. So Tchaikovsky decided to go with the modern type of music because it seems more simpler. And so, yeah, that's what I've learned from this book, Tchaikovsky by Anthony Holden. Like I said, there are just a little couple of gems in this. So thank you very much for watching, and you have a good day.